What's up guys, Ghulam Ahmed, Gene Activated. Today we're going to talk about muscle imbalances. I've been getting a lot of emails and DMs on Instagram, and guys have been asking me, Ghulam bhai, one of my arms is smaller than the other. My chest, the inside of my chest is smaller than the other chest. I have a muscle imbalance in my chest. My abs, one side is more flexible, more defined than the other. Or my leg, same thing. How do I balance out the muscles so that I look more symmetrical? So, the first thing we need to understand is, why do you have a muscle imbalance? The reason you have a muscle imbalance is because it's natural, it's normal, because our bodies are not meant to be naturally symmetrical. Because we always use one side of our body more than we use the other. So if you're right-handed, you're always going to be using your right arm for everything that you're doing. So it's naturally going to get stronger. Because you're using it more, you're using the muscles more, those muscles are going to be bigger. Same thing with your left arm. If you're left-handed, it's going to be the opposite. Your left arm is always going to be stronger. So the same thing applies with your chest, with your legs, with your back, everything else, because you always use one side more than you use the other, which is why you have a muscle imbalance. Now, eventually it does even itself out, but if you want to really target it, you can. But you have to understand is that it's a muscle, so any muscle can grow as long as you are able to utilize it and use it properly. Now, how do you actually utilize that muscle properly? The first thing you need to understand is having a mind-to-muscle connection, okay? Which means that you have to be able to flex and control the muscle that you want to use. The way you do that is very simple. For example, you have to build a connection, literal connection. It's a motor neuron, it's a pathway that your brain creates to be able to flex and use a muscle that you want to use. It takes practice, it takes time, you actually have to think about it. It's like this, if you've ever thrown if you're right-handed and you throw or if you try to shoot a basketball with your right hand, if you're right-handed, you'll be able to do it. But now try doing it with your left hand. You won't be able to do it because you don't have the coordination, and the musculature is not aligned and synced with your brain. So your brain doesn't know how to do it. Simply, same way your brain won't know how to recruit the muscle that you want, that's an imbalanced muscle. So you first have to create that connection. The way you do it is by isolating the muscle. So you have to not only think about it, but you have to practice and really focus on the form instead of using momentum. So learning to do that will take some time, but once you get a hand of it and you can actually utilize the muscle that you want to, you will start to grow that muscle. Now, a great example for that is a bicep curl. A lot of times the way people do bicep curls is using momentum and they're kind of just, jerking the weight up. That's not going to utilize the muscle. There's no connection being built. Instead, if you slow it down and flex the muscle and then try to curl and squeeze your way up with the muscle, then you're utilizing that muscle. So that's how you want to build that connection. Try to see if you're actually using the muscle that you're lifting with and you're actually feeling it in that muscle and not somewhere else. It takes time, but with practice and repetition, you'll be able to recruit muscles that you've never recruited before, and your body will learn to recruit them. The more you do it, the more you fire those neurons, the more your brain will learn, and it'll continuously do that, and it'll solidify that pattern, and then you'll be able to every time you try to do it, it'll be easier and easier and easier. For example, a lot of people can't flex their chest like this, right? The reason they can't do it is because they don't have that neural pattern down. Once you have it down, then you can flex your chest individually, together, however you want to do that. So that's how you build that connection. Now, how do you actually take out that muscle imbalance? The way to do that is you want to use single arm exercises or single joint exercises and isolate the exercises. So it doesn't have to be single joint, but you have to isolate the exercises. So if you're doing a bicep curl and you do it with a bar, okay, if your right arm is stronger, you won't be able to tell if you're pushing more with your right arm and not enough with your left arm. So, and your left arm is the one with the imbalance, then you won't really create that difference. You're going to maintain the imbalance. So what you have to do is, if you don't use a bar, then you'll be able to notice the difference. Because if you have 20 pounds in this arm and 20 pounds in this arm, if this arm is weaker, you'll notice that you can't lift it as fast, which is why it's going to be able to help you notice which arm is weaker and how to create that imbalance. You use the same weight and you just go up nice and slow and controlled, and you squeeze and you come back to create that muscle imbalance. So you're going to have to use single arm exercises. Okay, so if it's your arm that's imbalanced, use the same thing, single arm exercises. You can just keep focusing and try to do the same amount of reps on one arm as the other. So if you're supposed to do 8 reps here, but you can only do say 5 here and you get stuck, that's okay. Do 5, take a little break, okay? And then take 10 seconds and hit 6, 7, and 8. Hit 3 more. So do the same amount of weight, but just take a little bit longer break, but just do it so that you've isolated the muscle. So it's not together in one rod. Another example for this is chest. So a lot of people have a chest imbalance, right? One chest is bigger than the other. The way to do that is, again, isolating that muscle group. So the way you can do that is, for the chest exercise, there's two you can do. One is a single arm chest press, which I will explain right here. So what you do is, you sit down here, lie down. So if this is the one that's in imbalance, my right side, I'm gonna keep the dumbbell here, make a fist, keep my core tight so that my body doesn't pull me this way, and I'm gonna push up like this here, right? So I'm gonna do, say, 10 to 12, just one arm, because I'm just trying to use this muscle and trying to get this one stronger. Then I will also do it with the same way with this arm, just to keep the balance of both muscles. Even though it's the same weight, because this is weaker, it's still gonna grow more than this one, because this is already stronger. So you're gonna recruit more muscle fibers here because it's a smaller muscle for now, and it's gonna catch up to this one. Eventually it will catch up. So this is one arm exercise that you can do for your chest imbalance. Another exercise that you can do that's great for your chest, for a single arm, is a single arm incline cable fly. So what you can do is, you grab a cable fly in your gym, and again, you're trying to hit the middle part of your chest, and you're trying to squeeze and get this part of your side of your chest bigger. If this is the imbalanced one, you can do the same thing for the other side, if that's the other side that's imbalanced. So you pull it from here, and again, you're trying to feel the muscle and squeezing it through nice and slow, and taking it all the way across and squeezing right tight on the side here and here. And you're going back again, and you're squeezing like this. Squeeze. Now you're gonna do, say, 12 to 15 here, then you can switch and do 12 to 15 there. If you were doing it together, you wouldn't be able to tell if you were pulling more from this side or that side, right? If the weight was connected. Obviously this is a single exercise anyways, so you're gonna feel it more, but this way you can isolate more, you can concentrate more, you can really try to feel the muscle and squeeze it out. And now notice the way I bring the weight down. I don't just yank it down. This, if I bring it down like this, is mostly working out my shoulder, and I'm using the momentum to bring it down. But if I really wanna use my chest, I'm gonna first think about it, I'm gonna flex my chest, and I'm gonna slowly start squeezing and start bringing the weight down. And then I'm gonna go even across more to get a bigger range of motion, to get that real squeeze and get that really definition at the bottom of my chest. Just like that, squeeze and back. And then again, if it's the other arm, you do the other arm. Same thing applies with your leg muscles. If one leg is bigger and stronger than the other, then use the other leg and do a single exercise. A single exercise for a leg is, you can do a one-legged leg press, or when you're doing leg extensions, instead of putting both legs into the machine, you just put one leg in and you curl it with one leg. You do 15 with one leg, and then you keep the same weight and you do 15 with the other leg. You'll right away notice which leg is weaker, because one leg is gonna have a harder time doing the same exercise. So again, that's how you slowly build the imbalance. All right, guys, so that's how you fix your muscle imbalances. I hope that helped. Don't worry about it. It's natural to have a muscle imbalance. When I started working out, my left arm was a lot weaker. It was a lot smaller, but now they're, about the same size almost, right? Because, I've built it over the years. And sometimes actually my left arm is even stronger, because I think about pushing a little bit more from it. I think about recruiting a little bit more. My chest is the same size. So it eventually does even out. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a muscle. You can target one muscle more than the other. You just have to think about it, recruit it, execute properly, and have good quality reps with no momentum and a good squeeze. I hope that helped, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you've been supporting me for a while, I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you guys have any more video suggestions that you'd like me to post, please put them in the comment sections below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Help my channel grow, help my audience grow, so I can help more people like you. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.